The word that comes to mind when I watch Adam Fantilli is control. Control over the puck, control over his body, and control over games. This is the hallmark of a great two-way center, which is still the most desirable type of draft-eligible prospect out there. Is that Fantilli? He's got the size, the smarts, and the skating. He's scored more in his freshman season than recent top picks have, including putting to shame players like Clayton Keller, Brady Tkachuk, and Matty Beniers, all of which have proven to be offensive forces in the NHL right away. So what can we expect from Fantilli in the NHL? My name's Dylan, and I was a WHL scout for 5 years, and in this video in my Former Scouts Take series, I aim to answer just that. But first, if you want access to my scouting reports a whole month early, check out our Patreon link in the description below. And while you're there, hit that subscribe button and like the video so other hockey fans can find it. Fantilli is an interesting prospect from a scoring perspective. He has exceptional vision and ability to read a play, but his decisions on when to shoot can be a little suspect, and I don't know how high his ceiling can be with his finishing potential. Starting off with the good, his shot is nice and snappy, but my favorite part is how smooth it is. To borrow some golf terminology, he has a smooth stroke with solid follow-through that helps him elevate the puck very easily. It's a shot that is technically sound and will play both wrist shot wise or with a slapper, and helps him to be a scoring threat from multiple different places on the ice and in different scenarios. But now for the bad. I don't know that he is the best judge of when to shoot versus when to keep possession and set up a teammate or create a higher percentage chance. There are a lot of times when he will pull the puck in, make a power move, and try to pull off an in-close finish. This is a really tough thing to do and is not something he'll be able to do at the NHL level from a strength perspective right away. To make the play pay off, you need silky smooth mitts, and I just don't think he has them. Instead of making quick dekes and using fluid motions with his wrists to try to roof it, he instead just tries to jam it home down low and, unsurprisingly, is stopped most of the time. Finally, I think he just has above average accuracy, as in, he's going to score more than most guys, don't get me wrong, but he probably isn't going to be netting 40 anytime soon. Fantilli's vision is very strong, however, and more than makes up for his potential limited goal-scoring upside. He knows how to work the zone, find teammates, and when he isn't playing hero driving the net, he shows he knows exactly where the puck needs to be to create the best look for his team. His passes are accurate, and he passes for the stick, not the body, something that should never be taken for granted, unfortunately. More importantly, though, his passes are quick. He'll add some sauce when appropriate, but he doesn't want to leave anything to chance. When he passes, he wants it to get there and not picked up by the other team. Something that signals to me that he's ready for the next level is that he passes to space on the ice rather than for teammates. Throwing the puck into the slot or into an open space on the side of the net and having his teammates move there is where one of the control aspects of his game comes in. He is basically saying, this is where a goal can be scored from right now, somebody make it happen. Sure, this can lead to some turnovers, but as he starts playing with the top players in the world at the NHL level, and with the same line mates season after season, that vision and playmaking awareness will pay off big time, and probably lead to some healthy contracts for his wingers too. Arguably my favorite part of Fantilli's game, however, is the energy he plays with. No, he isn't skating around like his hair is on fire, but he is disrupting opponents, providing his team the chance to rest or to make a line change, and most of all, he's turning situations around on the opposing team. I have boatloads of respect for players willing to put in the work on the forecheck, pushing their bodies and conditioning to the limit while playing physical. It translates to the NHL through this trickle-down effect of coaches appreciating it and thus playing the player more, thus giving the player more time to learn sooner at the NHL level, and thus becoming better at the NHL level. Not only that, It's just better strategy to be proactive and try to disrupt opponents before they can even leave their own zone, potentially limiting what they're able to do against you. More than anything, this is what tells me Fantilli has near zero bust potential, because there is always going to be a place in the NHL for disruptors with energy. Skating-wise, Fantilli is fast and knows how to be strong on his skates. He makes use of quick crossovers when angling into or out of the zone to generate additional speed, while also putting his body between defenders and the puck. The fact that he looks so comfortable doing this, that it's so second nature to him, is very impressive and is one of the reasons I think he catches so many people off guard. Big guys like him aren't supposed to move as fast or agile as he does, or kill you in transition and on the back check like he does. Fantilli also has long, powerful strides to give him deceptive speed. He's going fast even if his legs aren't moving quickly, I promise. And he keeps his feet moving. Not only does this keep his speed, but it's what allows him to work in and push defenders back off of him. If you can churn your legs while leaning into a defender who is having to transition from skating backwards around to forwards, you will win that battle every time, regardless of size, and that's what Fantilli does. His skating is arguably one of his biggest assets, and I don't think it gets talked about enough. Defensively, Fantilli shows a lot of promise. Yes, he has the size to throw his weight around a little bit, but what I notice first is his instinct. He has an active stick and shows good form challenging shooters or trying to read and intercept a pass. I've seen lots of reports about him being the next great two-way center, and honestly, I'm right there with him. His willingness to keep his feet moving here as well is the thing that I like to see, and why you see so many of his highlights start like this one, where he already has momentum heading up the ice. And, just like in the offensive zone, it makes him that much more frustrating to play against. Similar to Bedard, I would like to see him play lower in the defensive zone, use his body to help challenge and clear members of the opposing team out of the slot, etc. But I also know this is partly where Michigan's system comes into play. We saw it 2 years ago with Matty Beniers. They like to keep centers up high if they're disruptive. So, I'll give Fantilli a pass here. I had an interesting time coming up with my player comp for Fantilli. I knew I had seen franchise centers with strong two-way games, but what style does he fit into? My first thought was Logan Couture, but the offense just wasn't right. Couture is as rock solid as they come offensively, but I went a little further south in California and settled on Anze Kopitar as the better player comparison. Kopitar has the two-way game, but what separates him from Couture is his hands and his passing, both of which are strong factors in Fantilli's game. Like Kopitar, Fantilli will make strong pushes towards the net, sucking in defenders around himself while still staying in control, making good use of his hands and body as he dekes and drives the net. Add in his better use of his teammates on breakouts, and his actively playing higher up in the defensive zone, and I think Kopitar becomes a good model for the kind of player we could see Fantilli become in the NHL. A point per game, 30 goal scorer who can shut down top competition is nothing to sneeze at. And the fact that I think Fantilli is so close to being able to do that already leads me to think that he could have a larger impact next season in the NHL over a more talented but less refined Conor Bedard, making more of a difference in the win column for a team at the bottom of the standings. Bedard is pure talent, but I think it remains to be seen what sort of player he will be in the NHL. Fantilli, on the other hand, is just the next Kopitar, Sasha Barkov, or Couture. A solid, maybe even spectacular, though not transcendent, franchise center with a strong two-way game who will help turn a bad team into a playoff team. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like so other hockey fans can find it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss next month's scouting report. Or, if you want it available now, check out our Patreon link in the description below.